This is Module 6 of the PCS Hazard Communications Training, November 2013. At the end of the last module, we introduced the various sections of the new safety data sheets. We want to look into those in a little more detail, and I ask that you pull out the attachment, the OSHA Brief Hazard Communication Standards Safety Data Sheets. And I'm going to show you where that is found on the website. Again, going to the Hazard Communication page, going under Safety Data Sheets, and then opening up the SDS for the brief. We're going to look at, first of all, Section 2, which is the hazards identification. And if you look down through the various components of this, the signal word, the hazard statements, the pictograms, the precautionary statements, descriptions, etc., you'll see that this is the exact same information that's shown on labels. Section 3 deals with the composition / information on the ingredients, and here we have substances, which are chemicals, and then we have mixtures, which are a combination of several chemicals and potential other items. And it's important to note that in the mixture case, the concentration, the exact percentage of all ingredients are required, with any concentration limits above or below the health risks that are set by OSHA. The only exception to this is if you have a trade secret. And then if that is the case, and they do not have to give you exact percentages, but they typically will at least identify those chemicals, and for sure they will identify the hazards. But a statement that the specific chemical identity or exact percentage concentration of composition has been withheld as a trade secret is required, a statement within the MSDS. Section 4 are first aid measures, and what's important here are first aid instructions by routes of exposure. So there may be different first aid requirements if it's been inhaled, or if it's come in contact with the skin or the eye, or if it's actually been ingested. Also, a description of any symptoms that are acute or delayed, and then any immediate care that may be required in special treatment. Section 5 of the SDS deal with firefighting measures. Again, this would be more for first responders, unless it is something that is containable that a regular extinguisher could put out, but do not make the mistake of adding fuel to the fire unless you know exactly what chemical composition the fire is made up of and what type of fire extinguisher needs to be used. Number 6 is accidental release measures. Again, this would typically be something that we would get first responders, the fire department involved in, but again, it's important that we have this information available for them, and we know where to obtain that. Section 7 deals with handling and storage. Again, this is something that we would anticipate that our subcontractors who are dealing with these chemicals would understand, but it's important that we understand what is compatible and not compatible together, and that we are prepared to use the information to make sure that our subs are following the safety guidelines in the SDS. And the last item we're going to talk about is Section 8, exposure controls, personal protection. This is the PPE area, and again, we need to know what special precautions need to be taken when dealing with these chemicals, whether it be some type of respirator, some negative air, etc. And again, we need to make sure that our subcontractors who are actually physically working in with this stuff have this proper PPE in place. Here's a sample of what a safety data sheet may look like, with just the front page with the first 2 sections. Note up here that this is a voluntary use of the current NFPA classifications of the various hazards, and that the actual pictograms that are required on the label are contained down here under Section 2 as we just reviewed. And that is the end of Module number 6.